Court reporters, did you hear the shocking news over the weekend? Teen Mom OG star Cheyenne Floyd's baby daddy, Zach, actually has a long rap sheet that we never had any clue about. Shocked? Me being shocked, if I tell you I'm shocked, it's an understatement. I never would have suspected this coming from him at all. It's really crazy. So it's all coming to light because their family, they were all coming back from their vacation in Mexico, and upon re-arrival into the United States, Zach was actually arrested on an outstanding warrant in front of his family, in front of Cheyenne, in front of the kids. I feel like Ryder's probably gonna remember this because what the heck was that? Luckily for him, he was only briefly booked, and this happened on January 3rd. So they were just coming back from their Christmas, New Year's holidays, and this man goes and gets arrested at the airport. How embarrassing, right? So apparently he's got a long history of theft and DUI charges, which we're going to get into. So it was TMZ that broke the news about him getting arrested at the airport in early January. It's interesting to me that they managed to keep this under wraps, that TMZ didn't know about this until just recently, right? Like that was what, 2.5 weeks of just sitting on it, or not knowing, 3 weeks. So now when it comes to the details of his criminal history, he actually has a little bit of tea. I'm going to link to her article in the description box down below if you want to go over it yourself. But as a high level overview, they're saying that Zach was actually arrested in October of 2018 and charged with grand larceny, which is theft of over $950. So the false personation and cheats charges were all dropped against him. You know, the ones that claim that he was allegedly stealing people's identities and falsely using them. They were dropped, and then the grand larceny charge that he actually pled no contest to it in September of 2019, just 11 months later, and he was found guilty and sentenced in October to 3 years of probation and 32 days in LA County Jail for his crimes. So Zach, pretty boy Zach, actually served time. I can imagine what jail was like for someone like him, because Zach is very, very pretty boy. So first of all, I don't know how he survived personally, coming from his background to going into jail and then looking the way that he does. He must have been a target in there, you know, so it's wild to me. And then the Ashley is also saying that in February of 2020, while we were in the middle of the pandemic, when it was first really, we were shutting stuff down slowly but surely, the court notified Zach had violated his probation. And then it took them up until now, I guess with the backlog, with everything going on with the pandemic, it took them until now to get a bench warrant hearing. And then almost immediately after what happens, boom, they catch him at the airport when he comes back from his Mexican vacation. Dude, wow, Zach, I am actually appalled. Seriously, you guys. They actually is saying that Zach has to go back to court in October of this year. I'm going to try to get Stephanie, my friend Stephanie from Wine and Chill. She's a lawyer who is also here on YouTube. I'm going to ask her to break this down with me when I come back from my vacation. I'm going to vacation in Nice. Honestly, it's not even a vacation. It's just for 2 days. I'm going to be there from Tuesday until Thursday with a friend, just because tickets were only 20 euros. But still, I'm gonna have her break this down for me when I get back, because this is wild. So again, his history with the law does not end there. In June of 2020, oh my, in the middle of a pandemic, this man was arrested for a DUI. Where was he going? Was everything not shut down? It's not like he could say, oh, I was clubbing and then I thought I was okay to drive and I came back. No, we were all supposed to be hunkering down in our houses, in our bubbles of 10 people or less, or just immediate family members. So what was he doing getting a DUI in June of 2020? That doesn't make any kind of sense to me. There was, you know what I mean? What is he, does he have a problem with alcohol? This is weird. He was allegedly also charged with driving while his license was suspended or revoked. Then he was arraigned in September of that year, and a warrant was issued on October 13th of 2020 as well. And then actually his criminal history a couple years earlier than that, 5 years now, we're going back to 2015 February, Zach was allegedly charged with petty theft crimes. He pleaded no contest to those crimes. Oh my God. He was sentenced to 24 months of probation, 10 days in county jail. So now what is that, 40 days in jail that he's allegedly served at this point? I don't know if he was ever released for good behavior or what, but this is crazy. Again, a little bit later in 2015, July, he was charged with driving without a license. Again, he was fined $90 for that. September of that year, again, Dude, what were you doing in September of 2015? What was wrong with you? Were you going through some stuff? This is crazy. Zach was charged with reckless driving on a highway, as well as driving without a license for the third time. What? He pleaded, I'm reading this at the same time as you guys. I am on the Ashley right now, like, what is going on? He pleaded no contest to those in February of 2016, and he also was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol during this arrest, but the alcohol charges were dismissed or not prosecuted. And then when it came to the reckless driving charge that he had actually caught a little bit earlier, he was sentenced to 36 months of probation. You know, it's really interesting to me that Zach managed to continuously skate by. Like, he was running around reckless and he managed to skate by with probation, charges dropped, or like a couple of days in jail. Like, he better count his lucky stars that that's all it was, you know, for him, because we all know how things could have played out. This is wild. Wow. The judge had also ordered Zach to enroll in and complete a 3-month licensed first offender alcohol and other drug education and counseling program. Yeah. And he got a 10-day jail sentence for his reckless driving charge as well. Wow. Zach, you were a mess. A whole ASS mess. Cheyenne, how did you get wrapped up with this man? You know, on the one hand, I'd be like, maybe she didn't know, but you talk about how close these families are, you know what I mean? So I feel like and how close they've been since like they were kids. So I feel like she would have known. Like, what? Especially the 2020, because they were together in 2020. So what is going on? This is so wild. This is shocking. You know, the amount of times that Zach had run-ins with the law, it's weird. You know, like one time, okay, maybe, you know, something might have happened, but like that many times, 5, 6, 7 times maybe. Wow, it points to a big problem, and it actually also points to like him having like actual issues like up there, where you're like, is this a person who thinks he's above everybody and the law, and he can just get away with, you know, driving recklessly, driving without a license, allegedly stealing people's identities, like all sorts of things that are just not good for society. It makes you wonder what type of person this man really is. You know, he plays a nice, shy, quiet guy really well on Teen Mom OG, like the long-suffering boyfriend of Cheyenne. But come to find out, this man is crazy. He's crazy. Honestly, I have to say, this man is crazy. Like, you don't act like this if you're not some sort of crazy. Like, this is weird. This is weird. Cheyenne, really, of all of the men in LA, you are the godmother or something to one of P. Diddy's kids, and this is what you wind up with? And he doesn't even really have like a job that anybody knows of. Remember when Cheyenne's dad was asking what his job was, like how he's going to take care of his family and stuff, and he never really answered it? Now it's all making sense. Now it's all making sense. Wow, Zach. Wow, I'm floored. I really don't even know what to say. I'm curious about how you guys feel about Zach now that you've learned this. Do you think this could potentially be a storyline on the next season of Teen Mom OG? I really hope it is, because I feel like this deserves a discussion. You know, what is going on in your psyche that you think it's okay to behave this way, that you believe you're entitled to behave this way within society? Because clearly something is amiss. You know, when I first heard the news, I kind of flashed back to Cheyenne's parents. Okay, so Cheyenne's debut episode of or season of Teen Mom OG, Taylor was coming around and stuff, and so she decided that she wanted to meet Taylor one-on-one, and her mom was so snooty about Taylor. Listen, Taylor is trash, as we found out, right? But this was before we knew. And so Cheyenne's mom, she just made this really weird comment when Cheyenne told her that she wanted to like meet with Taylor to get to know who Ryder was spending time around. Cheyenne's mom was like, yeah, you better do that, because you don't know like how she was raised, how other people were raised. They could have been raised by just anybody. And it was just so ironic to me at the time, and I pointed it out because meanwhile, her own daughter, Margaret's own daughter, Cheyenne, was running around thotting and bopping, banging everybody raw to the point where she didn't know who the father of her child was, and she wasn't even going to find out if Ryder did not have a rare genetic disease, right? Like at that point, she was like, okay, well now I got to find out the father to figure this situation out. Otherwise, she would have just left it alone and pinned her as being someone else's daughter. I was like, that's weird. And now come to find out, one of your best family friends' kids is behaving like this, and you guys are all totally cool with him, like he is the salt of the earth. It's interesting, right? Wow. Zach, what is wrong with you, dude? Wow. Okay, so the she's also saying that Zach has 2 court dates scheduled for May, and then October is for the other criminal issues that he's got. Listen, I'm going to talk to Stephanie. I'm going to see if she can come on here and just share, like, explain as much as she can live with all of us, answer all of our questions about Zach's criminal history and what he can expect moving forward, and how the hell he hasn't been banned from driving. Can you get banned from driving in America? It's weird. Anyway, you guys, make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on this train wreck in the comment section down below. And as usual, you know what? Hang on. Do you think this has affected their relationship? Do you think that Cheyenne is now embarrassed of him? Do you think that they will actually walk down the aisle at this point? You know what I think? I think there will be like Ashley and Bar, where they just go ahead and get married secretly if they're not already married secretly. Instead of doing the big blowout thing now that this has come out, because it's probably embarrassing to them, you know, that this is who she's walking into her life with. It's too late to turn back now, right? Because they already have a kid, so like she's already tied to him for life. But let's just hope that Zach teaches his kids to be better than him, because this is unacceptable. Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and as usual, we will chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.